represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. Chance to head to Arizona in 2 weeks' time for Super Bowl 57. We are underway now in the NFC Championship. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Smith. He's got his big tight end, Fant.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Smith. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Kamara up the middle. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
48-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. defensively, and now it brings up third down.
The dime looked on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing on third down, Smith. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down. Now here's Michael Dixon, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. That's pulled in at the 32. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action with Wilson. Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
Brought down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. Trying the left side with Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, an 18-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Will Lutz on for the point after. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Phillips now from the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll need to come from behind if they want to play in 2 weeks as they trail early in this NFC Championship game. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They'll fake it. Now Smith. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Got to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm is going forward. Incomplete. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick, and the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Again, this is Kamara. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Pushes past him, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
From the 7 now, it's 3rd and goal. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays. Because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
I think they want to start getting back into this game, and behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Out of the gun, Smith. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Walker now on 1st and 10. They find some open field here.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Geno. Incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Smith. Out to his left.
Open man is Eskridge. That's complete. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Here's Walker.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Ken Walker.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Seahawks have got it back to within a score.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7.
Makes the score Saints 13, Seahawks 7. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But let's have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the 44, Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Got an open man. It's Olave.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. The
Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1. And I think you knew what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go into the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said,
oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Past the 20. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
Boy, what an incredible way to end the half. A chance for a late 3, but instead it turns into 6 points the other direction.
And how about the team that got the 6 points going in the other direction? They were thinking, I don't know if I even want to go into the locker room at the half. Head coach could be upset. Instead, got to feel pretty good.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's far from over. They were the better team in the first half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year. And they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the second half as well. They need to stay on guard.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that makes it a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secure. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up second down. On second down, it's Walker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun, here's Smith. And he's taken down here by the Saints. They snap it to Smith. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Kamara. 164 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
The kick by Lutz is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And they'll accept that penalty. So what a turnaround there. A roughing call on the field goal try leads to first and goal. Kamara is in. Touchdown, New Orleans. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he holds the football. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Wilson going to throw for it. to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Smith's throw into the hands of Lockett. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. We'll get this to about the 38.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
He hits his target, Lockett. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 45-yard line. Here's Smith. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does. Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here we go on fourth. Smith. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Saints are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. And when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
178 yards rushing for him now as he tries to will his guys into the Super Bowl. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing now is Geno. And now here is another interception. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
One quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On third down, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Sets up fourth down.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes one extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. Now Smith. This one goes underneath to Walker. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Second and 6. No, scratch that. Second and 7. Geno now to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards the pickup there. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on second and inches. This is the tight end fan. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And the Saints pressure gets it. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So a fourth-quarter pick-6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick-6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points.
Phillips now from the end zone.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Back to throw, Smith.
Over the middle, he finds Eskridge.
They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home.